The Governance Commission for GOCCs, or government-owned controlled corporations, is keeping tabs on the proposed Maharlika Investment Fund, which has government-owned and controlled corporations amongst its sources of financing. Joining us now is GCG Chairman Alex Quiroz. Justice, thank you so much for joining us on The Final Word. Briefly, share with us, what is the mandate of the Governance Commission for GOCCs?
Before that, I would like to greet you, Mr. Rizon, and to all your viewers of The Final Word.
Thank you, sir.
Well, to make it very brief and concise, the mandate of the GCG is an oversight, no? To oversight we evaluate, we monitor the performance and the financial viability and fiscal management of all GOCCs.
So, Justice, with this GCG mandate to safeguard around 10 trillion pesos in assets of GOCCs, are you concerned then that funds from the GOCCs will be used in the creation of the Maharlika Investment Fund?
Initially, the proposal will be coming, the financial of this Maharlika Investment Fund will be coming mainly from the Land Bank and DBP, and some GOCCs such as the dividends from Bangko Sentral, PAGCOR, and other GOCCs to finance the Maharlika.
But there was a valid point, Justice, raised by Senator Coco Pimentel during a Senate hearing, that there is an existing GOCC, which is the National Development Company, which is one of the oldest companies in the country, established in 1919, that currently also invests in government funds on ventures. So, will this Maharlika Investment Corporation duplicate the task of the National Development Company? And there is no need anymore to institute this Maharlika Investment Fund.
There could have been some similarities in character, but definitely the basic purpose of this MIF is to finance or to create economic growth and development, as well as to improve the life of the general public, especially those who are living below poverty line level.
But if you take a look at the current version of the bill, Justice, the GCG is excluded from going through nominees for the composition of the fund's board of directors. Isn't this a red flag?
Well, actually, it's too hard to prejudge because at this point, the proposed House and Senate bill have not yet have a complete form of its characteristic. But for the meantime, the proposed bill, both by the Senate and the House, would still possess the characteristic of a GOCC, which means that they still within the scope of GCG. We are awaiting the final version of the proposed bill. So perhaps at this point, it will be premature for us to give points because it is not yet the form of this Maharlika Fund has not yet been done yet.
Yes.
With its final version.
Absolutely. It's still being debated in the Senate, the version from the lower house, and it will still have to go through the bicameral conference committee if indeed it will be finalized and be signed into law. But there are also concerns, Justice, that government guarantees provide a moral hazard where parties are protected from the consequences of their decisions. And also, what happens when loans are not guaranteed? It also increases systemic risk in the Philippine banking system.
We likewise look into the risk. That's why we proposed to the bill an extraordinary diligence, safeguard, to ensure that the government fund will be protected. We already made our written comment to the Senate and to the House of Representatives to that effect, because there are some provisions, although it was retained insofar as transparency, fiduciary trust with all the board of directors. But be that as it may, we still insist and propose for some safeguards so as to guard the public funds.
Safeguarding taxpayers' money, safeguarding public funds. Because, Justice, there are fears that the Philippines does not have a surplus economy but a deficit economy, and we really have no experience in sovereign wealth funds. I mean, if you take a look, for example, Norway's sovereign wealth fund, which is one of the world's largest, reported a record loss of $164 billion in 2022. Hong Kong also announced a record loss of $25 billion in 2022. I mean, we're putting our eggs in one basket, and if we come into face to face with a recession or another pandemic, we could be wiped out. The risks are very high, Justice.
Yes, we share the same observation, but we have to evaluate the purpose of creating this proposed bill, because they would like in the event that of success, 25% of the profit will be redound to the public to elevate, to help the impact of this poverty level of our public.
Yeah, but Justice,
it's a matter of,
but Justice, we cannot only look at the success, but we should also look at the failure and the losses. There has to be a balance here.
yes, that's why we even make our proposal. What are some, because I cannot discuss to you the details of our comment as to the proposed bill, because we have discussed lengthily, comprehensively how to have that safeguard. Okay, while it might be true, there is no assurance of success. But likewise, we also look into. That's why we have to balance the two situation, failure and success. It's a matter of how these public funds will be managed.
Yeah. The bottom line is
what we call less risk as much as possible.
yeah. The bottom line
Because,
is, Justice, what is good for the
even
Filipino.
in the selection of the board of directors, we even make a proposal, the qualification of the to be appointed as a board of directors. It must pass not only the fit and proper rule, but they have to pass the test of their experience, their fitness, propriety, probity of the person that might be nominated for the position.
We thank you for joining us on The Final Word, Justice. Governance Commission for GOCC's Chairperson, Justice Alex Quiroz.